The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
Now, this weekend, we celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and with us today, we have a man who works in the community, fighting the good fight. Joining us this morning, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only civil rights attorney, Ben Crump, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Rickey. Good morning, Rickey Smiley.
Hey, Ben, how you doing, man? Love you, man.
Hey, I love you too, brother. Like you said, we out fighting on the front lines because as we celebrate Dr. King, we always have to remember it's about service. And that's what he did on his birthday. That's what I plan on doing on his birthday. So I'm fighting out in Los Angeles for the black community, Altadena, not to be treated like second-class citizens and forgotten about in this awful tragedy, Rickey Smiley. I mean, it's so many people lost so much, and so I just can't not go try to help that black community.
So Ben,
everybody's talking about Palisades. They ain't talking about the black community, Altadena.
Right, Ben, what's actually going on? What are they actually doing, Ben? They got it to the point where you had to file a lawsuit.
Well, Rickey, you remember that California is getting these wildfires constantly. So they've actually written laws and legislation where energy companies and other corporations that proliferate the fires must do when there's warning that fires are about to happen. So when you think about the fact that on January 3rd, they got major warnings to Southern California Consolidated Edison Energy Company that these were 100-mile-an-hour Santa Ana winds that are common. They come every year. And then they said that there's potential that there's wildfires that have sprung up, de-energize the power, cut the power off. Well, they never did that. January 7th, our client, Evelyn McClendon, this school bus driver, and her family who had lived on this property for over 50 years, her father was served in the Navy, had a GI Bill, was able to buy a home. They bought that home for $60,000. Well, right now, in 2025, that home was worth $1.4 million because the housing prices in Los Angeles. Rickey, you have to remember, a lot of times our black people, we don't have companies to give our children. We don't have stocks and bonds. What we have is the house and the land. That's how we pass on generational wealth. This family not only lost both their homes, they also lost their daughter. Her 80-year-old mother was able to get evacuated, but she was not able to evacuate. And what happened, Rickey, when you think about Con Energy not turning off that power, it devastated that black community in less than an hour. 200 acres of houses. Can you imagine how many houses were totally burnt? People lost everything within a matter of minutes. And so we are saying wrongful death lawsuit for Evelyn based on simple negligence. The fact that the law told you to turn off the power. They turned off the power after the transmitter caught on fire on January 7th, and everybody saw the fire on the hill. Then they turned off the power. It was too late then because it didn't give the people any warning, enough time to evacuate. And so the most people that are dying in this tragedy is African Americans. They haven't told that on TV yet. And so that's why we filed this lawsuit to say that you land developers aren't going to come and steal these black people generational wealth for pennies on the dollar over this tragedy. And so I'm happy Beyonce and everybody is starting to say, hold on, let's talk about Altadena too.
Yeah. Ben, I want to ask you, do you think there's any kind of connection or conspiracy considering the fact that the Olympics is supposed to be coming to L.A. and that land is acquired, or is there any connection there? Is anybody talking about that, Ben?
Well, the rumors are out there. And I can't confirm any kind of rumors or allegations like that, but I will say it is awfully convenient Rickey, Smiley, the fact that all this prime real estate right outside of Pasadena and unincorporated Los Angeles, this very valuable land is now going to be redeveloped. And the question is this black community now going to be whitewashed out of existence with all these developers coming in buying the land for pennies on the dollar? And that's what the fight is about, because normally when you have these tragedies, it's documented. On average, white families get relief from Red Cross and everybody at $126,000 per family. Well, black people get relief at about $32,000 per family. So think about people lost their houses, lost their cars, they don't have homes, they don't have clothes, they don't have food, and they try to go to work. And so how easy is it going to be for these developers to come and try to manipulate them out of their whole generational wealth? So that is the fight, Rickey. That is the fight.
Oh my God, that's like we had a lot of questions about the Dr. King holiday, but I'm just so devastated by that, and stuff like this has been going on for years, and I thank God for Beyonce and anybody else that's calling them out, and just because a lot of this stuff get past us, and the liberal media is about as racist as Fox News, because the fact that they are not talking about it and nobody's taking a stand. It's like when little black girls go missing, it's not on the news or whatever. But the whole country was looking for the young lady when she went missing over on that island or whatever. And I just and black people, we have to use Facebook, because I share those videos all the time of missing kids, and all of a sudden our black children coming up missing and stuff or whatever. But the media don't talk about that.
Exactly. Natalie Holloway, we even know her name. You don't know those are the black girls' names who were missing. And so, Rick, I thank you for using your platform. This is important, because I know if Dr. King were living today, he would be in the Palisades. And so when people donate to help these black families, and that's why I'm giving Beyonce a shout out. She gave $2.5 million to help everybody, but people are specifically trying to identify Altadena because the media is talking so much about the Palisades. You don't hear about Altadena, and you have to question, well, hold on, but isn't there more life, loss of life, more devastation in Altadena? But we only hear about the rich white people in Palisades. No,
Ben,
we gotta make sure we hear about everybody.
Can I jump in with a quick question? Speaking of Altadena, so a lot of the people are losing everything, and a lot of people, like you said, aren't rich celebrities. So what is happening with the insurance situation with the poor, the less wealthy people that have lost everything, and they don't have insurance coverage because so many policies was canceled? Tyler Perry had called that out.
Yeah, and thank you to Tyler Perry for using his influence on that. And that is absolutely just a miscarriage of justice. It is almost a crime. These insurance companies, because like I said, the law in California, they acknowledge that there are going to be these wildfires that come up every year. And so people have to try to be prepared to deal with these catastrophes. Well, the insurance companies knew that it was likely, based on the history, the PG&E fires in Malibu. And so they flew helicopters over months ago, and they almost redlined areas to say, we're going to start canceling people's insurance policies. And I will say they did this not just to black people, but to white people too. But these greedy insurance companies, they cancel people's policies or said, we're not going to pay the claim because you didn't have fire insurance. So I've been paying my insurance every month for years, and now when I need you most, and you done made all the money from the premiums for my payments, you're going to cancel my insurance? How can you get away with that? You shouldn't be able to get away with that. And because of who we're going to have in the White House, we don't even know if the federal government is going to try to help the people versus helping these billion-dollar corporations. and not hold these insurance companies accountable. So it's going to be up to us to save us. And, boy, it's going to be a fight. But I got all the faith in the world, Rickey Smiley. He will be able to save us.
Hey, Ben, when you come back on, can you get Dr. Maxine Waters or somebody to call in? Because we need to figure out, Ben, what can we do, and everybody that's listening to the morning show, what can we do to make a direct donation? I talked to Dave and Lynn Talbot yesterday, and I just been reaching out to people out there, just trying to figure out how can we help. Can you get somebody on that's directly connected to that community?
Probably not at such a short time, but we can do it tomorrow or next week for sure, Rickey.
Okay, cool. Ladies, I love you, Ben. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, love you too, Fred. Yeah, let's remember Martin Luther King was about a day of service, not just a celebration.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Ben Crump. Smiley Morning Show coming up.